I just hit it. Dude, did you forget to schedule the guest for this week? I
Yeah.
told you, bro.
Shit. I'm sorry. I don't know. What is it? Just gonna be you and I then?
I guess so.
Just kidding.
Okay, I'm rolling the intro. And again, it's delayed. What the fuck is up with this, dude?
I don't know.
Well, now it's just an awkward moment. Because this it is straight up not playing, bro.
Yeah.
The intro.
Yeah.
So should we try again?
It plays on preview. No, it'll be fine. I can cut this part out. It's literally like delayed. Oh my god. It's a good thing that I've been editing the video so I can edit this out. I really don't know why this shit is not. What the actual fuck?
Tank is in Russian.
Dude, it's seriously not working. Like I'm not tripping over here. I'm
Should
being
we
for
do
real.
it? We can just sing it ourselves. How does it go?
I mean, I can always insert it too, because it's already, dude. This is taking way too long, bro. It's just straight up. It's just straight up not doing it. So, all right, man. We know what. Fuck this. We'll just.
Let's just start over.
You know. Yeah. Well. No, it's fine. I'll edit it in there. It's all good. So okay. Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back to Nighttime with G. This is season 2, episode 8. That's right. We've hit our 16th episode, and I'm very happy about that. Definitely a big shout out to Ivan for that initiative whenever season 1 came out. And look at us now, 16 episodes in. And who knows? Maybe this might define the next season. Maybe not. But I definitely don't want to take too much spotlight. Ivan, you've been on the podcast this season, so I think we're just gonna go straight into it. Liz, thank you for joining us this evening. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself for the listeners and the viewers. So.
Sure. My name is Liz. I'm Ivan's fiance. I mean, I could say something else. I don't know.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about us, about y'all's.
Sure.
Either y'all or just you. Just a little fun fact.
So we moved to Laredo beginning of this year. We've been living here for 7 months now. We bought a house, and I just got a job at the university here in the town, so that's cool. I've been there for a couple months now. I'm liking it so far. Just getting used to being here in the deep south, you know what I mean? It's pretty hot, but other than that, it's great.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's the heat? How's the heat adjustment?
Actually, this morning when I left for work, it was 65, so I'm not mad. It's getting better, slowly.
Yeah. It actually felt cool over here in Corpus too, so I'm glad that y'all aren't experiencing more hotness over there. But
it's been feeling really good.
Anyway,
really, really good. Those fall vibes.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna start off with congratulating y'all on the engagement. Definitely a huge step, and of course the house itself. I mean, we've told Ivan, in the previous or in his episode, but I wanted to tell you here as well, Liz. So shout out to you, and also shout out to you for being. I mean, with the exception of Dormy, I guess. I mean, you technically have been the first female guest, and I think Amanda choosing you last week, it opened up doors for more, guests, and I never put a limitation on it either. So I mean, I'm glad that she, that she chose you. So, but yeah. Anyway, Ivan, do you want to say some words?
Good to be back on this week's podcast. I'm so excited for my fiance to be on with us. It's gonna be a good time. Let loose, relax. Don't be so stiff.
You're right.
Let loose.
You're right.
Let's get it going, man.
I got some juicy couple questions for y'all.
Hell
So y'all better be ready for those. But
yeah. Let's stir the pot.
but anyway. Bet. So this is more for just Liz herself, I guess, right now. How do you feel about the global economic? No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, wrong person.
How do you feel? So you're an environmental science major, right? Like that was your specialty.
Yes.
How do you feel about, I guess, where the actual planet stands as far as that? Because there's definitely been multiple like rumors and multiple like theories, I guess, that the end is really near in a sense. But I know that you've always been very like eco-friendly and just always been caring of the planet. Because even in your graduation cap, I remember it said "stand for what you stand on" or something like that, right?
Yes. Yes, it did. I mean, that's
So
kind of
tell
a
us
loaded
about that.
question. Fun fact, if you didn't know, we are actually currently in our 6th mass extinction, like as we speak. So there were 5 before humans got
Mhm.
here, and now we're kind of in our 6th one.
5?
Yeah, we're the 6th one.
I only know 1.
Dinosaurs. Yeah, obviously.
What are
That's
the
the one
other
that everybody
4?
knows. I don't know. Do you know how old the Earth is? You know how many things lived before humans got here? That is super rude.
Please tell me.
Anyways, so if you really think about it, with all of, the things going on in the world contributing to the mass extinction that we're in, diseases, climate change, people there's a misconception around that because it's not just global warming. Yes, the globe is warming, but it's also climate change is more of like a catch-all for every single climate weather event that happens that is unusual, and we've had a lot of those recently. I don't know. There's a what?
What is that? What are you drinking?
Pineapple agua fresca.
Ooh.
Pineapple agua fresca.
Oh, that's so cute. That's a cute bottle.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Is
the
it
leftovers
good?
from the OD5 sale. Yeah.
What? You should bring some for this
Yeah, I'm
weekend.
preparing for the. I was gonna say I'm preparing for the weekend, bro.
Anyways.
But sorry about that. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, what? Anyways. So, I don't know. There's just a lot of factors that go into the earth and how to protect it, and there's so many steps that need to be taken, and it's just a matter of people in power making those steps, taking initiative, and that's just something that we don't really see in the world, which is sad. But so when you really start to think about all that stuff, you kind of go down a rabbit hole, at least I do, and then I start to get overwhelmed because I'm like, oh my god, the world is closing in on me. But what I've learned to do, and what really the only thing that we can do is just do what's possible for us to make a difference. So I'm like super conscious, and it's kind of like a blessing and a curse sometimes, of how much plastic I consume, and where I'm getting my meat and produce from, and all these tiny little things that we don't really think about every day, because that's just human nature. We just do things that are convenient for us. So I've tried in my lifestyle to subtract that factor and focus on things that would benefit me and the planet. And it can be, I'm not trying to like lecture y'all here, but it could be little things like I don't use plastic grocery bags. I have my own reusable ones, things like that. Just things like consciously making the decision to choose better, I don't know. So if you take anything away from that,
So
just do that.
that's a perfect point that you bring up, because I feel like society has always had like a specific view whenever people have tried making those initiatives themselves, or have tried starting the trend of making the initiative to recycle, reduce, reuse, and all that. So my follow-up question that I have is now for Ivan, because Ivan, dude, if I can use the dictionary and try to find the word like guy, I feel like I can find your name on there, because yes, I think you are the definition of a guy, and but what I mean by that is, yeah, what I mean by that is that, as opposed to Liz, like I feel like it was probably something that you had to get used to when it came to like, recycling, because she probably started it, doing it now that y'all live together. So how was your take on that? Like, is it still hard? Are y'all still butting heads about it, or what?
Not at all, man.
Is this like
Here's
an
the-
argument?
So no, not at all. Here's the thing. Like, and I had an idea of this actually happening when we officially moved in together, because we've been, staying at each other's places for the past 2 years,
Mhm.
right? Pretty much. So this is officially like the first year that we've been together, completely.
Mhm.
So when you guys do come down and check out the house, you're gonna see that the house is pretty much, chef's kissed by yours truly over here, Liz.
Yeah.
But there's a compromise. You're gonna see a little bit of my taste and everything as well. So I just think I think the blend on our taste together it's perfect. Like I said, it's
Mhm.
chef's kiss.
I'd also like to add in that
So hold on. So to answer your question on that whole, aspect, I think I've just been following her lead. I feel that the cause is a good cause, right? We should be doing that stuff. It's like it's like how people say, like, oh, I won't get a tattoo. This is, my body. This is my temple. I take care of myself. Same thing with, people that work out, and same, thing with people that are very, very, you know, what is that?
health
Clean,
conscious.
not self-conscious.
No,
like,
health conscious.
yeah, health conscious.
Eco-friendly?
No.
Like they
Eco-friendly?
just eat
You know
clean,
how,
like
yeah,
vegan.
you know how
Are you
Nick,
talking about vegan?
no, you know
Self
how Nick used to, you know how Nick used to watch
self-aware.
No, self-aware. Now we're talking AI now. No, you remember Nick Pedrosa? Okay. Do you remember how clean that dude is? I don't want to call him a clean freak, but there's a word for it. What is
OCD.
it? No. Allergy. No.
Hypo. I don't know. Just get to the point. It's okay.
Is it
Germaphobe.
hypo?
Germaphobe?
Yes. Not the word I'm looking for, but yeah, that's a good one. So, where was I going with
I don't
this?
know. Anyways, I just
Well-
like you think it's cool, like it's a good cause, whatever. I'd like to say that I think, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think that a lot of things that I've like introduced him to, he's thought were great and super cool, and like, wow, I didn't know people actually did that kind of stuff, like, and then he becomes more aware and starts doing the same things, and it's good. It's nice to know that what I'm doing and what I'm fighting for, other people see. That's what I wanted to say.
Cheers.
Cheers.
God. Sips
So
beer.
okay, so
Just
what
kidding.
is your take on it?
Oh, good question.
So that's definitely a really good question, because I'm surprised that you even thought of somebody else being more like a clean freak than I am. I mean, I feel like I'm more OCD than cleanliness, in a sense. I know for a fact that stuff's gonna get dirty. Like I'm not like constantly cleaning it, kind of thing. Which I feel like if I was that way, I probably would have. I don't know. That just seems like, a difficult life. But anyway, the fact that you compared, not really compared, but brought up Nick, it reminded me of how I am, and I think for the majority of it, I've slowly opened up to the idea of reusing, instead of buying like new product kind of thing.
Mhm.
Because if you notice, like a lot of like my little knickknacks that I have and stuff like that, like a lot of that stuff is not like I didn't buy it. Like it was either bought out of thrift shop or like little stands or little garage sales or stuff like that. Um, and I feel like that's been one of my ways that I've contributed in the sense of not you know buying the mass product or products from like big companies or whatever that are essentially
Mhm.
polluting the country. Um, but I've also been more self-conscious, like how Liz was saying, of what I do. So I try my best to, if I'm gonna order stuff online, try to kind of get stuff delivered like on that same day, or try to order a lot when I can, so that I don't, I'm not constantly getting like packages at my door, because at the end of the day, that's still gas that gets used up and all that.
Yeah.
However, I was gonna bring up Dormy. Um, Dormy, if you're listening, I love you. But we've tried so hard to get into the recycle process of things. Not really recycle, but like just being more eco friendly. And we started a collection, dude, of shopping bags that every time, bro, we go to the store, we always forget. So I know that there's a lot of room for improvement for the both of us, but I also think that we haven't had the true opportunity to like, put both of our lifestyles together. Like it's just kind of
Mhm.
been still more of a getting to know each other on that. Um, but I feel like once that happens, like we're gonna be very like kind of like how y'all are, like a team. Like
Yeah.
like I feel like we're gonna push ourselves to not waste stuff, or excuse me, to try to recycle. Primarily because if you notice, there's a lot of facilities that don't really recycle. They just do it for the legality purpose, or like
I
the
could
the
speak on that.
state. Because I'm not trying to call out a certain institution, but dude, I've seen them throw trash and recycle in the same place, and I'm like, bro, so you're telling me that I could just like throw it in whichever bin, basically.
Yeah.
So essentially the bins are just kind of there for show. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
What were you
And
gonna say, Liz?
I was just saying, like, I could speak on that because recycling in and of itself is like kind of a controversial thing, because a lot of people don't realize that yes, recycling is good. It's a good practice to have, especially if you're trying to incorporate those types of things like in your everyday life. But what people don't tell you is that recycling actually uses almost the same amounts of fossil fuels and water and all electricity and all the things that we are taught is bad for the environment. It's the same thing. And what recycling companies don't tell you also is that they only take and recycle certain types of plastic, cardboard, glass. A lot of places don't even recycle glass. But if you happen to throw something in there that they don't want, they just get rid of the whole bin. They throw it in the landfill. A lot of what we recycle doesn't actually get recycled. Um, so that sucks, and it's pretty discouraging for people that are like, I'm just trying to make a difference, which is good. Like, if you're in a place where recycling is actually taken seriously, like, go for it. But like you said, speaking from experience, there are some places that don't. So I don't know. It's also just about like doing your research and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What out of the three standards, philosophies, would you say it's more useful? I don't know what are the three terms?
reduce,
Like
reuse,
reduce,
recycle.
reuse,
Those.
and recycle. Would you say, yeah, like what would you say would be the most like beneficial
I
to the
would
planet, I
say,
guess?
if honestly, just going in that order. Reduce as in reducing how often you use your car, reducing the amount of meat you buy at the store, reducing, there's so many different things. Reusing is extremely important. There's so many things that people can reuse that they don't realize that they can be utilized for other things. And then I'd say recycle would be the last one. And actually, if you look it up, there's like a ton of different R's now. It's not just reduce, reuse, recycle anymore. It's like, I don't even know. There's lists, tons of stuff you could be doing. Yeah, tons of stuff. It's because I feel like right now we're kind of in our second like environmental movement, like how the big one was back in the 70s, and now I kind of feel like a lot of people are doing the same thing. Like they're trying to make a difference, like how they were back then. Like I feel like a lot more people are taking it seriously now. But then again, our
Mhm.
population is a lot bigger. So like
So,
I know I follow the people that are conscious about that stuff, but I don't know if everybody is, you know.
so don't you think that's a little contradicting?
What?
Because there is global warming, right? But technically, I mean, I agree with you. It's called climate change, right? There has been significant events that's been happening for years now that are just abnormal to what we usually have for weather, right?
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that kind of contradicting? That you're saying we're in our eighth, right? Is that what you said?
6.
Sixth mass extinction, but yet you're seeing a huge movement in that whole reduce, reuse, recycle. So which one is it?
What is? How does that correlate?
What I'm saying is that like right now you're saying in the 70s there was that big movement to to be more eco-friendly, as Gerardo said. But we're still in our sixth mass extinction. So what I'm trying to say is which one is it? Or are we going through the biggest movement where we're actually going to make a difference or make a dent into what's been causing all of this, which is us, right? Overpopulation. Or are we actually not doing it the thing?
I don't think.
Are we just wasting our time?
Yeah, Ivan,
I
I
don't
don't.
get
I
it.
don't think. I don't think you. I don't think you understood what Liz was saying. The mass
I don't get it.
extinction is a whole like separate thing from like the global warming itself.
Extinction take millions and billions of years.
I thought
It's
they
not
were.
like we're
I
all
thought
just
they
gonna
were
wake up
four.
and die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I thought they were.
They're gradual.
They went.
They don't correlate.
No.
They correlate in some way, but they don't correlate like directly. That's I
Yeah,
think
they're
that's
not like
where you might be
dependent on each
confused,
other.
Ivan.
Okay, so then my next question is, how are we in our sixth mass extinction? What is causing that right now?
The shifts of basically the Industrial Revolution caused it. Because as soon as that happened and all of the technology and things that we're using nowadays, the earth itself is receiving an abnormal amount of like CO2 emissions, methane emissions, things that were not normal before humans and the Industrial Revolution came along, basically.
Yeah.
So it's either the world, the earth, adjusts and tries to figure out how to function with us.
Reset.
Sure.
Basically,
Or
I mean,
the
I
earth
wouldn't
goes
say
back
that.
to how it's supposed to be and gets rid of us.
That's what I'm saying. A reset.
Sure,
So-
a reset. So
so-
either we die or the earth dies. Take your pick.
So where do you think we're leading to?
I
The mass extinction or
Yeah.
global extinction?
I think
It'll
I
probably
think
be a mix of
humans are
both, though.
definitely more
Honestly,
affected. I mean, the earth is very resistant, but also we are just mistreating it horribly. But I think that we're being most affected by it, which is so ridiculous because we're the ones causing it.
It's so crazy how like
Yeah.
nowadays you see a bunch of movies that are fiction movies, but you got to think exactly right, quote unquote fiction. But you got to think if a certain person is able to come up with this type of idea, what makes you think that that's not actually happening? What if that person
Dude.
actually has some information as to what's really happening?
Like the movie 2012, I wouldn't be shook if that actually happened one day.
Yeah, that's
I
a good
wouldn't be
one.
surprised.
Very, very fiction out there. More than likely, it's not possible. But if you think about the principle of the movie,
Yeah.
it's Godzilla, King of Monsters. In that movie, they're releasing the Titans, is what they call them, right? Which is one of them is Godzilla, the other one is King Kong, and so on and so forth. That three-headed Hydra, right? But they're saying you see two parties in that movie, and one says, "Don't let them out. It's global destruction. That's all it is." Then the other one says, "Well, you need to look at the aftermath." Every single Titan that goes through a specific highly populated metropolitan area, that Mother Nature kicks in, as you're saying, will either adapt or put on a full reset to make sure that that world is kept alive. So when they do that massive destruction, everything that they're carrying with them, I don't know how they do it, but everything that they're carrying with them starts to grow new life again.
That's what I'm saying. That's why mass
Dude.
extinctions have happened. It's a way that the Earth is resetting
It's crazy,
itself.
right? It's crazy how somebody can think of it that way, and what makes you think that that's not how it's actually happening? You know, same thing with the simulation. A lot of people are talking about simulation right now. That has to go with the Matrix. Or what if?
Dude, you got hella
We're
deep
getting
on this
way
question,
off
bro.
topic.
Sorry, it's because I'll go.
You
off
got
track.
That's what I'm
hella.
saying. Like,
with
you can
I
just
love
keep
listening to these things.
snowballing
You got
and going down a
hella.
rabbit hole with this shit.
Just talk to
Yeah, I was like, you got hella fucking deep on just that topic, bro.
me.
But no, I definitely see what you're saying though. I mean, but at the end of the day though, you were also mixing in like science fiction with like nonfiction and fiction too, and you know,
Yeah, but
it was
my
just
point
I don't know.
is,
That's a lot of
Godzilla,
stuff.
bro. Godzilla.
that's what I said. It was a far-fetched one, didn't I? My point is that these movies have to have some kind of truth in them. Is what I'm saying.
Underlying
Yeah, for sure.
truth.
Yeah.
As yes, I completely believe that.
Just imagine the Titans not being actual monster creatures, right? But this whole, climate change, this hurricane
It
that's
could be
hitting,
weather events.
exactly, this hurricane that's hitting right now in Florida.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that is a huge weather change. Like that. I mean, of course it's hurricane season, but it's a big one. It's a very big one.
We've been seeing a lot more big ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
right
the
after
Earth,
another.
it's Mother Nature, Mama Bear trying to come in and say, okay,
She's
like,
fighting back.
enough is enough. Like, let's reset this. You know
Yeah,
what
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Great way of putting it.
Pretty. I mean,
Yeah.
see now that makes a lot more sense. It was just going off on like Godzilla and shit. That's where I was
It's the
like, bro,
principle. It's the
hold on,
principle.
hold on. No,
Yes, you
yeah,
think that we're not
yeah. The
actually
principle. I mean, the principle does make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's not a possibility, but it just like you said, it was just a far-fetched kind of thing, far-fetched kind of thought, Because
Yes.
if you think about it, I mean that applies with anything. And I don't think any good show has not put in the amount of time of research into it. Because if you think about it, there's been time travel movies too. There's Rick and Morty, for example, which those episodes might seem super simple, bro, but they probably have the most research behind them just because of how accurate their terminology is and how accurate the actual like action and reaction in certain scenes and stuff like that.
I
So
wouldn't call it simple though.
it's for sure
That's a very complex cartoon.
that it's what?
It's a very complex cartoon.
You don't think that it's simple? Oh,
the
no,
animation
no.
itself,
Yeah,
yes.
it's complex for sure.
Yeah, like the animation itself, for
But
sure.
somebody like not like dumbed it down, but like somebody like reduced it to where we're able to understand it and comprehend it on a more simple like manner. So
I agree with that.
but anyway, okay. Let's get into couples questions. So now that these questions are for the both of y'all, we're gonna get a little. I don't know what the term would be, but we're just gonna get a little serious with them, a little deep,
Okay. A little
deep in your thoughts, deep in Ivan's panties. What? No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so this question is definitely something that I feel y'all both would have really great answers for. So I'm gonna go for it. What is one lesson that you have learned or taken away from your partner?
Ooh.
For example, it's like what is a lesson that you have learned? Like Liz, what would you say has been your biggest lesson that you've learned from him?
I think
from him or through him too.
Yes, easily. I can answer this one pretty easily. I'm a very how do you say? I can be uptight at times. I stress myself out very easily. I get overwhelmed. Things like that, typical girls shit, whatever. But He's the complete opposite of that. He's very calm, cool, collected. He knows how to have a conversation with anyone. He basically takes like the social anxiety away from me, which I really appreciate because like I don't know. He just knows how to keep me calm and how to calm me down and to, live life more simply, I guess. Like I've learned that I don't have to get everything done right now at this moment because that's what I tend to do. I tend to throw all these different things on my plate and then of course I'm going to be overwhelmed, but he's kind of there to help take some of those things off and to show me like, hey, you don't need to be doing all this right now. Take it easy. Let's go to the movies, stuff like that, which I really appreciate because I get in my head a lot.
I love you.
Love you too.
For me,
I love you.
So for me on that one, I would say it's the opposite of that, where she's more, let's go, let's get on top of what we need to get on top of. We're gonna make a list. We're gonna check that list. Making a list, checking it twice, type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She has that characteristic, and that I like it a lot. I do like to procrastinate a lot. I do get a little too laid back, where I think, okay, you know what? I don't really need to put the gas on this certain subject or this certain event or whatever the case may be. I think that's where she feels that I have that gap. So when I'm like, okay, you know what? It's serious. For example, it can be our wedding that we've been planning. She's been on top of every aspect of it, and I'm trying to play catch up with. I know that she's taking the reins on this one, and I just kind of lean back on it because I know that it's special to the both of us, but the bride, this is her day. It's supposed to be our day, but I got it. This is all about her, and I want to make sure that she understands that this is all about her. This is like me in mind, just having, just us around. If it's just us two, and knowing, I don't mean to get religious, but knowing that we're in front of, then I'm perfectly fine with it. I have no problem. But then my Hispanic heritage kicks in, and I'm like, nope, I want a whole pachanga. Let's go. Party. So I know for taking care of that, and I got her back, full support on it. It's kind of a little wonky in the beginning, but I'm trying to get better at it. But yeah, that's a perfect example as to what I've learned through her, is to make sure that you're on top of the stuff you need to be on top of. That's done. He kicks into.
You can relax.
Let's relax.
Exactly.
Let's do this.
Opposites really do it
Yeah.
in that sense.
Okay. I knew y'all both had really good answers for that, so I'm glad that I asked that. Now I have a follow-up question, since it seems like y'all have a very like team effort kind of perspective on it, on y'all's relationship. So the next question is, what is something that you used to believe about relationships that you don't anymore?
Oh my gosh. That's a deep question. I've never been asked that before. Something that I believed and don't anymore?
Yeah.
I believed that I would get foot massages every day, but I don't.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, hold on. I'm trying to think of something.
I got one. Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay. So the biggest turnaround for me when I first started dating Liz, and we had our conflicts, was I've always been overprotective, and That's just the way I was raised. I'm the oldest of 4 sisters and 1 little brother, and those 4 sisters came first, and my little brother came pretty much last. He's like second to last in my end. He's one of my half siblings, but anyways, I've been the oldest, so I've been the one that have to be the role model, the protector, to show them the right direction when my parents can't. So I think a lot of that characteristics, a lot of that, charisma was trying to fall into a relationship, and it took to understand that she's still her own person, and I have to trust that she knows what she's doing. Is anybody perfect? No. We have our flaws. Just like she had flaws in that aspect, as much as I was a little too over the top on it. But being able to have our compromise together taught us, how to as just because I think a certain way doesn't mean that she's gonna think that. And I gotta understand that. I gotta put myself in her shoes, and I gotta realize and take a step back, put a break on it and understand where she's trying to come from.
Yeah.
Learn. I had to realize that women are not dependent, they're independent. And it's, in my opinion, way better as an independent woman, because I've personally dated very dependent girls, I should say, because it was at a young age. Yeah, it was. After a while, I was like, okay, now I'm starting to babysit this person, because this person emotionally is not independent, and I gotta be there for them. Gonna be okay. And after a while, it just gets old. You need to understand that. Well, hey, you know what? I need to first before I can give you that same positive energy, so very easily. If you are not okay within yourself and you don't even know your own issues, what makes you think that you can have what it takes to be in a relationship, to be able to put in that part when that other individual can't for the moment, but for a fact they're going to bounce back. And if that person can't bounce back, then that's when I don't have the energy, I don't have the time, there's just not enough of me to give to you. I still need to be my own person. So from being with you, huge turnaround, and I loved it. I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, honestly, I had to learn to not be so independent, I guess. Not that okay, let me put it this way.
Say what it is.
Maybe I believed that to be quite honest, I never thought I would be living with someone before, honestly, when I was younger, before I was married. But now I realize that's not realistic. So before I was engaged, whatever, my plan when I was in high school was to graduate college, live by myself a couple years. Even if I was in a relationship, I just wouldn't like to live by myself, whatever. That's not how it happened. I'm not mad about it. Obviously, I had to learn myself to be kind of less independent, and it's okay to rely on my partner, and it's okay to be dependent a little bit on him for certain things, because there are things that I can't do by myself, which has also been something that's kind of been hard to learn. But yeah, of course it's fine for everybody to be independent, but if you have someone to lean on, why not do it? That's something I've taken away, I suppose.
Nice. Ivan, did you want to add something? I kind of seemed like you were gonna say something. No.
No. I'm thinking these replies are, giving you on these questions. I don't know. Nobody's actually now. People have asked us for advice for before, but right now it's different. We're in a whole different chapter of our lives together.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing to know where we came from together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up something, and I mean, I honestly I don't care what y'all think about it. I mean, at this point, y'all are together forever, you know? Um, I nearly cried whenever Ivan gave me back the first ever Polaroid I took of y'all. Cause for some reason, like it devastated me. Like I guess at the time, the way that I was or where I was mentally and everything, like it was just not a good spot. And for me to like see that in somebody that I cared for, because I mean, of course, I met Liz through Ivan, um, and me like liking Liz a lot too. Like it just I was like, man, like that sucks, that he's giving it back to me and he gave me the option, and I think that's what hit me. He's like, you can do whatever you want. You can keep it or you can throw it away or whatever, right? And I like I said, just because I liked y'all a lot, I was like, oh my god, like at the end of the day, yeah, Ivan came first in my life, but Liz had already stepped into it too. That I was like, oh my god, I don't have the heart to like get rid of it. Like I think I'm gonna hold on to this bit of hope and see where it goes. And I did. I put it away in a safe space, and you didn't even ask me for it, right? I gave it back to you, Ivan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gave it back to Ivan, and I gave it back whenever, of course, the time was right, of course. But that part alone, like I hope y'all have used it as a like a checkpoint or a milestone of like, damn, like we really came from that. And honestly, y'all's both of y'all's answers to the questions, like they're they're really good, and I knew that they were going to be good answers just because I've been a part of y'all's life, like dating wise, like since the time that y'all been dating, like I feel like I've been a part of it, and of course it feels nice to still see y'all together and still striving together and just still being a part of my life too. So um but yeah, that's yeah. Um, so my follow-up question for this is, who says I'm sorry first, or who apologizes first from y'all? And is it always like the right time to apologize? Like basically what I mean by that is like does Ivan say I'm sorry first, but he might have not been in the wrong, or does Liz apologize first and she might have not been in the wrong? Like who apologizes first?
Okay. I think, and this is something that maybe I don't, now that you're saying and asking me this, I'm thinking about it. Realize this. All the, honestly, we both, I guess, are like grown enough to realize when we do something wrong. So we apologize. I don't ever tell him like you need to apologize to me. Like I don't. If I do it, I'm joking. But like he knows if he's done something wrong, so he apologizes, and I'm the same way. Like not getting it too much into detail, but even earlier today, like I was getting attitude on the phone and I hung up and gave myself a second and I called back and I apologized. Like I don't know, like I think that's a blessing for sure in our relationship, just knowing like, and if we're both in the wrong, then we both apologize, and that happens a lot. Like that, I think people need to realize too. It's not always just one person that's at fault or in the wrong. There's two sides to every story. I know you hear that a lot, but like it's true. So like both arguing with each other, like it's not one of our fault versus the other. Like we're both gonna apologize.
So
Ivan?
it is a blessing. It is a blessing because we don't keep count to to give you. We can't tell you. Well, at least I can't. I mean, based off her answer, she can't either. We can't tell you. Well, no, sorry, more often than this other person. We can't because we. It was never when we started dating, but we realized that not once. I think maybe one time, and we weren't even upset at each other. But not once have we ever gone to bed upset about we were arguing about.
Yeah.
Never. We always go to bed with us in the same page.
Yeah, we've
Hey.
like pretty late a couple times, just making sure that we like talk about.
There was one time we stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was, I think, like about an hour after we were, right?
Mhm.
But it's not something that like, okay, we've been arguing, now we need to figure it out right now. No, it's just one of those things that we just, because I think, agree with me that if something like that were to just hang on our shoulders, it's gonna drop us down to our knees, and we're not gonna be ourselves until that certain conflict is resolved.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean that resolve whatever we're arguing off of, okay, you're right, I'm wrong, or vice versa. It's more of, okay, I need to understand where you're coming from, and you need to understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
We both need to understand so that when this problem arises again, we know how to approach it differently, and we don't have the same problems over and over and over again. But that's enough. Problems, they're always going to be coming. That's what life is about, right? We learn from these mistakes. We learn from problems. That's what keeps us going, at least in my opinion.
Evolving and changing.
Exactly, changing. Exactly. You see, that's what I'm talking about. It's just, I don't know. I feel blessed that it's so easy for us to relate like that. But maybe it's complete. I mean, not complete, but very, very different in a lot of different aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So just filling that void, like, it's nice. Can you imagine if we were the same person? I don't think we would get anything done.
We didn't get shit done.
Or if I don't think we'd be together.
No, we'd drive each other crazy.
We probably lose our shit, and we wouldn't be able to hack it out. But I think because we have that, together, just, continue to grow and evolve, like you said.
Yes.
Solid answers.
Gee, can I say something?
What's up?
I wanted to go back to the whole Polaroid thing and kind of say something about it. So, as you know, like, you took our first Polaroid together and then took several more after that, and you'll see it when you come visit the house, but I have them all like in order on our fridge. So it's literally like, what? No, whatever. Now you know. But every day, like, we literally see where we started every day, and then I think the most recent a year ago, so we need to take another one. But still, like, it's so cool. But like, all of them have been taken by you. I think except one, but yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Damn, that made me feel good. I feel like, I don't know, just everything that y'all have been saying, like, it's definitely stuff that I have that I need to hear, I guess, or it wouldn't hurt to hear it from another perspective, because I mean, I too am in a relationship that I love very much, and I hope that things go really well for the both of us whenever our time comes, I guess, for the next step, in a sense, because you definitely also don't want to like rush into things about a relationship, because like how Ivan was saying, like, if you don't feel ready, or if you can't even handle like your own emotions, then it's probably not a good idea to be in a relationship, kind of thing. Like that sticks out like a sore thumb, because this was actually one conversation that me and Dormy had, and I think it's what truly defined like our relationship, I guess, because we are non-traditional for sure. Like, I don't know if y'all asked each other or if Ivan asked you to be his girlfriend, or how that kind of came about. I didn't exactly do it like that, because I was in a pretty dark hole when it came to relationships. Like I got lost in the tradition of the man's got to do everything kind of thing. And this one time that I was talking to Dormy, she asked me if I was ready to be in a relationship because she basically asked me the question like, "What are we?" kind of thing. And she asked me if I was ready, and I told her I was, but I also told her I've said I'm ready many times though, so I don't know. And I think that like put into perspective on where we both stood at as far as relationships because a lot of the times like we kind of dive into things thinking that we're ready for it, but we're probably not, or maybe it's just not the right time kind of thing. And I feel like that conversation alone just like sticks out in the back of my head so much just because I I'm still accepting the fact that like somebody finally like cares about me unconditionally. Like I mean aside from like my family, which I mean in or specifically like my parents, my parents they care so much about me unconditionally. Like I know for a fact that my mom would give her she technically did when I was born. She basically risked giving birth to me because it was either going to be me or her. And I don't think I've ever had anything like that until uh, Dormy, because I won her over for myself. And I feel like before her, I wasn't really winning any of my relationships over for myself. I was portraying, being a gift giver or just basically like wanting to do everything I possibly could for that person and not getting anything in return. And I'm not a big person on expectations. Like I don't expect shit like at all. Like if somebody does a nice gesture to me, I will forever be grateful about it because it's just such a rare thing that happens to me that I've learned to just accept them and be grateful. So like I said, whenever she came on board, I was like whoa, like someone is it's not me basically constantly being the first one to do a nice gesture. Like it's been um you know moment after moment. And yeah, I will say though that certain demons have gotten to me to where I know that not all the times I've been grateful about stuff or appreciated them in the way that they should be appreciated.
Mhm.
And I don't like to blame my demons, but sometimes I do, just because I feel like even though I might have acted unconsciously and shown unappreciation, like I still feel like I was aware of it and I know I could fix it kind of thing. So, but anyways, I feel like that just deals more with like ego and other stuff. I keep trying to burp, but I can't. Sorry. um, but no, yeah, like definitely, like I said, the everything that y'all have been saying, like it's definitely like I don't know. It feels really good to know another couple's perspective than just your own in a sense. And y'all are very right on the independency. Like at the end of the day, you're still Ivan, you're still Liz. It's just that y'all are married or are gonna be married now. And same thing with somebody else. It's not that they're stopping from being Ivan, for example. Like he's still Ivan even if Liz isn't around, and you're still Liz even if Ivan isn't around, and y'all are still coming home to each other at the end of the day. So I feel like that's something that kind of gets taken for granted, that as long as you remember that who you're coming home to, like your relationship is probably like the strongest it can be. So
Mhm. Yeah.
but
I mean, a lot of a relationship is a sacrifice and compromise. That's something that a lot of people have a hard time like coming to terms. But when you're with the right person, you always make it work. And also, fuck tradition. Okay, like do whatever you want to do. I've learned that a lot recently. I'm not in life. I mean, yes, in life, but like for wedding planning, There's so much tradition that goes with that, and a lot of it I'm just like, I don't really care. So do what you want to do.
Yeah, I think I usually go based on the message to the world. Like that gives me the title for the video. But I think I like that. Fuck tradition. I think I'm gonna use that as the title for it. But
let's all be
yeah.
unique.
With that being said, though, this time it's gonna be a different message to the world, because I don't want y'all to give a message to the world, because I feel like I like I love y'all's relationship a lot, and I feel like a lot of people can benefit from a message to couples as opposed to y'all giving a message to the world. I mean, the message to the world, can be many things, but I feel like if y'all share a message to other couples, like that would mean more than my traditional message to the world. So if y'all want to think about it, y'all can. If y'all want to answer it together, or if y'all feel like y'all each have y'all's own separate one, that's fine.
Go ahead. I'm still thinking.
Okay. It's the 3 points that popped into my head right away as I'm thinking about this. Listen, and listen good. That's what is to listen. Not to judge, to listen. Speak up, because that is your time to speak up. That is what the relationship is about. To give you the opportunity to speak up when nobody else lets you speak up. Third one, which is the most important one, is just love. Love, 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 love. Show emotion, show that affection in whichever kind of language you do it in. Me personally, it's different from Liz, but she loves it, and I love it the way she gives it to me. I love with feel, touch. Girl, straight up like, oh my god, what is that? Public display? PDA. Not intense, but with respect, showing everybody like, this is my woman. I love her to death. I'm always gonna love her. So yeah, listen, speak up, and love.
Pretty good philosophy to go off of.
I just came up with that. You like it?
That was good.
I've been on that. Just coming up with stuff.
Listen, speak love.
Up, and love.
So, brand it.
I might just do that.
Anywho, I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can kind of encapsulate everything, and just, I don't know. I know it's super. Everybody, when they're giving relationship advice, says it. Know how to not just communicate, know how your partner responds to how you communicate. Learning what high school leadership classes, different communication styles, and it works in relationships too. Reacts in a bad way to how I normally communicate, then I have to learn from that, and I have to figure out, okay, well, how is he going to hear what I'm saying in the best way and reciprocate it? You know what I mean? So knowing with each other, and also like you said, knowing each other's love languages, because it's a lot different than his. I'm not a fan of PDA at all. I don't like it, and he knows that. But with that, and my love language is more, I guess, words of affirmation and giving little gifts and that. But I don't know. There's a lot of, I guess, discovery, not just with the person you're with, but also within you're in a relationship. You learn a bunch of new things you didn't already know about yourself, which, but also I guess can be a curse, because you're kind of sitting back and you're like, damn, I didn't know I had things wrong with me. But then you have the opportunity to work through them with and that's the blessing that comes with it. So yeah, know yourself and know the person you're with, basically.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Damn. I really like the topics the answers. I feel like the topics, I mean, they're there, but the answers, I feel like not only are they authentic, but they're very wise. And yeah. I honestly, I'm for sure gonna have a talk with Dorami after this. Not in a bad way, but just because a lot of stuff that yeah, I'm gonna put her in her plate. No, I'm just kidding. um, it's just I feel like every time so another thing about me, and I mean, I feel like Dorami, because I mean she's always been somebody that I've been vulnerable with. She knows that I guess the friend group as well knows um, that I don't do well, or I'm not the best, I guess, at handling my like true emotion that I'm feeling in a situation. And I think that's why like certain situations have happened, because I'm trying my best to like, keep myself sane in my head while also trying to be social, I guess. So anyway, um, just being able to, like how you said, self-reflect and think about stuff like that's basically what today was about. Like that's why I want to have a talk with her, because it's I have some things that I know I can bring up and even apologize for, actually. So yeah, I definitely, I don't know, it was a good talk. But now
It
I'm gonna
was.
change I'm gonna I'm gonna change it to I definitely want to make it a habit into making the world aware of stuff. I mean, obviously, this podcast is not nothing too big, but it's special because it's us. Um, there's so much going on in the world, and this was actually based me. What I'm about to say is actually based on a rabbit hole I fell under last night. But there's a lot going on in the world, not only geographically or like environmentally, I guess, but socially as well. Um, Definitely, to those that have been able to help, the people in Puerto Rico. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are blessings, and y'all are angels in disguise, as they say. To anyone that donated money from far away, shout out to y'all. May God and life and the universe, multiply that by a lot. Um, and same thing with the people in Florida. I mean, I feel like that's probably right now the state that's more vulnerable than anyone else. So, shout out to y'all for staying strong. I mean, I know it's not y'all's first rodeo, but shout out to y'all for keeping up with that. And to the people in Puerto Rico, as much as I would love to help financially, I can't. But I hope that I don't know, who knows? Maybe somebody does watch this and they're like, "Oh, what's going on in Puerto Rico?" And they're able to donate or something. Because you never know. You never know who's watching, as they always say. But what I was gonna get into, there's a lot of issues where I'm originally from, and it's pretty risky for me to even be bringing them up. But at the same time, I feel true about them, like true about bringing them up, because um, Dormy one time asked me why did I want to travel so much all of a sudden, and I told her that I haven't felt at home anywhere, and not because I don't love who I have in my life, or I don't love where I'm at, or I'm being ungrateful about where I'm at. It's the fact that I don't feel at home in this country for certain reasons, but I also can't go back to my own like motherland in a sense, or I can't really like, I don't feel safe going back to it because of everything that's been going down. Um, the rabbit hole that I fell under was literally basically everything that's been happening, from the cartel situations and just all of that. And all of that is just it's pretty serious stuff that I definitely would like everybody, especially in the friend group, to be more aware of it. not necessarily to make a difference, but to not necessarily to make a difference in their life or over there, but to make a difference in your own because we're not dealing with that. Yeah, I could say I don't feel at home or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm probably more safe here than I am over there by a landslide. Like that's for sure. But yeah, there's just been a lot of killings and a lot of innocent lives that have been lost simply because of power hungriness and just a bunch of bullshit, I guess. But I just wish that that was actually brought more to light here in the states than over there. Because over there, I mean, people can see it on the news, but it's like, what good does it do? Like they're probably seeing it outside their door. But over here, I mean, we're still able to make a difference if we can and if we want to. So I definitely want to bring those issues to light, and I hope that um, God and whoever your religious belief may be is watching over us on and watching over those people specifically, because it's pretty gruesome. It's pretty bad, and I I wish that I hadn't lost hope in going back. But I did. I have. I don't have hope that things are gonna get better. Um, but I still am trying to believe because I feel that if I get to experience like like another culture, I feel like that kind of would bring back my hope that I lost in humanity, I guess. I know that got really deep, so I'm sorry, but I I just wanted to bring it up just because last week we were bringing up the Puerto Rico issues and the whole stuff that they were dealing with as far as no electricity and just the lack of resources in general. So I definitely want to make it a habit to bring up just current events. Of course, nothing political kind of thing, just stuff that can raise awareness, whether it be to actually make a difference or to at least make the people more grateful about what they have. Because I definitely feel a lot more grateful after finding out what actually has been happening in my hometown, and yeah. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, do y'all have anything else to add? No, any last thoughts?
Do you? Oh no, what you brought up was super super good points, and like it's just a matter of making yourself aware, so then you can go out and make other people aware of what's going on in the world, because where we live, a lot of things are sugar coated, a lot of things are brushed under the see on the news isn't sometimes always the full truth, and it's just an initiative upon ourselves to go out and find the truth and really understand and know what's happening in the world. We're in such a bubble here. We have everything handed to us, basically, as much as a lot of people don't like to admit it. We kind of do compared to other people in the world. So just a matter of like making yourself aware of other people's situations, issues, as as cliche as that sounds, like it's true. If there's
Mhm.
a way that people can aid and make a difference, either through power they have or money or whatever, like do it. And it's that I think a lot of people that are in those positions, they don't use it to their full potential, in my opinion. But that's why we're here. We see this stuff. We can't do much right now, but at least we know. So
Yeah, Ivan.
Uh, just to turn it back on the whole couple message one more time. Just compromise. Make sure you listen, speak up, communicate, and just love hard.
world peace. That's what we need.
Beauty
Yes,
pageant
sir.
runner
Yes,
over
sir.
here.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to end on a positive note, so we'll go back to the normal tradition, I guess, of the podcast. So, Liz, now the time has come. I kind of gave you a heads up of who you wanted to pick, so now's the time. Um, yeah, who would you like
Okay.
to popcorn for the next episode?
I have two in mind. First,
Mhm.
my dear friend Kat. I would love viewpoints on some things. If she can't do it,
Okay.
I'm gonna popcorn.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Those are the
I'll
only two I had.
definitely
If you have a third, go ahead.
You're the guest here.
I only thought of
yeah.
two.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're the guest. You're the guest list. So no, yeah. Those sound like good choices. I'll definitely reach out and see what we can make happen.
Cool.
Again, of course, the popcorn choice is open for interpretation. I guess I could say that. The guest that I have can definitely choose themselves to be back on it. Or they can choose somebody else. It's kind of like the people on TikTok where they're like, "Do you want these $20 or should I double it and give it to someone else?" So
Mm.
I'm giving people. I feel like that's where I kind of got the idea from. So yeah, but yeah, I'll definitely reach out and see where we go from that.
Awesome.
But anyway, this has been a really wonderful episode. I appreciate y'all's time and I love y'all.
Yeah.
If y'all want to say anything last. Ivan?
Peace of love, everybody.
That's a
Thank y'all guys. Well, this has been Nighttime with G, Season 2, Episode 8. I got it right this time. I'm not even gonna try the fucking outro, bro, because it's still loading. Which I don't know. I'm gonna have to contact Riverside. Speaking of, I signed myself up to like promote Riverside, but honestly, I'm gonna be honest, like y'all are failing me right now. So Riverside, pick your game back up because this has been going on for two episodes now. But anyway, I'm sure they're gonna fix it. I'm sure. I'm telling them constructive criticism. I'm not dogging on them. But anyway, with that being said, has Nighttime with G, Season 2, Episode 8, and we are